Professor Robert Chung, who for 3 decades taught at the University of Hong Kong, and in 1991 created the Hong Kong Public Opinion Program, which becomes known as one of the key polls that people rely on in looking at popular opinion. He retired just a couple months ago, but his poll has not. And he has created this Public Opinion Research Institute, which continues this work. He is also the president of the Asia chapter of the World Public Opinion Research Association. And so right now we're going to bring you from Hong Kong, Professor Robert Chung.
Hello everybody, this is Robert Chung speaking from Hong Kong. Thank you very much for caring about Hong Kong, about what is now and what next. As a public opinion researcher in Hong Kong for about 3 decades, I would like to start with people's sentiment on public opinion. When we talk about public opinion, we normally look at the popularity of the top leaders, of the ruling group, of the system, and so on. So let's look at the popularity of our top leader, Mrs. Carrie Lam, our chief executive. Using a scale from 0 to 100, sort of a thermometer scale, her latest rating stands at 25 marks, which is very, very low. Actually, the lowest across all chief executives since the handover in 1997. If we use a more familiar kind of measurement, used often in the States, in the West, then Mrs. Lam's approval rate now stands at 19%, while her disapproval rate stands at 75%. So this gives a net approval rate of negative 55 percentage points, which is, again, very low. Now, brushing aside individuals, how about the government itself? Now, our latest measurement of Hong Kong people's satisfaction with the local government stands at negative 63 percentage points. That means positive satisfaction minus dissatisfaction gives negative 63, which is again record low. What about the central government? Now, on this, we have a very long series of a tracking survey measuring Hong Kong people's level of trust towards the local government and the Beijing government. Our latest measurement shows that people's trust in the local government stands at negative 30%, while their trust towards the Beijing government stands at about negative 40 percentage points. So all these are very poor figures. So why is that so? I tend to look at it from 2 different perspectives. One is from the global perspective. I read about survey findings across America, Europe, and a lot of places. And it has been said that this general decline of trust is a global trend across all areas, and especially among youths nowadays. So this is nothing new. If we look at Hong Kong figure, yes, we're also seeing that kind of distrust too. But the big plunge in the popularity of government, in people's trust level towards different institutions, which occur in the past 2 or 3 months, must be due to some local issues. And the very controversial extradition bill is definitely the reason. We have conducted quite a number of surveys on people's views about this governance crisis and their support of the extradition bill, and we found that about 70% of the general public of Hong Kong are actually against the bill. And if you look at young people, 80% were against it. So this is clear evidence that the government's pushing forward for this bill didn't gain support at all. And this actually brings crisis into its governance. Well, we've talked about distrust, and our latest survey about the extradition bill shows that, yes, it's confirmed that people, especially young people, are very, very much distrusting the chief executive. They also distrust the Hong Kong police force, which is actually a force reinforcement institution. They also distrust the Beijing government. Sort of the basic formulation, the basic reason why we have one country, two systems. So in a way, this kind of distrust is very deep-rooted. And if we look deeper into it, there's an interesting phenomenon that even the young people themselves do not trust each other that much. In a way, they have lost faith in the system. And during the recent protests, they do not even want to be led by any central stage of young people. So they want to act individually. They do not trust anybody. So what would happen? Well, we don't have the answer, but we did ask this question to people, especially young people, during surveys and also in our engagement meetings and focus groups. It seems that there could be three directions of development. One group of people, especially young people, although they were very pessimistic about their action, actually became more and more angry. So they would tend to vent their anger through more aggressive means, taking the so-called rebellious kind of a path. There are some, not too many, who actually thought that they would leave Hong Kong if they could, so they want to emigrate. So this is the kind of avoidance solution. Well, in between, we do see quite a number of people, especially young people, who thought that maybe it's time to reactivate political reform, constitutional reform, so that the issue can be tackled at a deeper level. And they actually said that they would like to see a more liberal system in Hong Kong and also China. Well, what would happen exactly? We do not know. Maybe this is the subject for our discussion today. Thank you.